It's been reported in the press today that Phil Foden is set to be recalled for tomorrow night's clash against Germany. Gareth Southgate also hoping Mason Mount will be fit for the game following his time in isolation. Also a bit of speculation that England could go to a back three. First of all, we had Andros Townsend on last week and he said there's no way that Mason Mount or Ben Chilwell will be included because they haven't had time to train with the team. So if he is recalled, what do you think about that?
I understand what he's saying, but nowadays he can be on they've said he's on the Zoom meetings for the set pieces and stuff. He's a fit lad anyway. If there's one player in that squad that could probably get away with playing without training with the team, it'd be Mason Mount. So I've got a funny feeling he could start.
Okay, we asked you for your starting 11, Gabs. So crack on. What do you think? Formation? What's formation you going?
I think I'd go the same as
Germany.
Czech Republic.
Sorry,
Yeah,
in the same
I play
team.
4 Shaw, Maguire, Stones, Walker, 2 sitters with Rice and Phillips. I'd play Jack in front, Sterling, Saka, and Kane. I just think against the Czechs, the way Sterling and Grealish were interchanging. You know, one of them was on the left and one of them was number 10. It worked well. It worked well for the goal. So I think that'll be the best team to play.
A lot of people are saying that they would rather match Germany and go to a back three. Why do you think not?
I think that's an option, but why do we always have to, do what they do? Why can't Germany match us and play 4-2-3-1? Why do we have to always think to ourselves, let's match the team that we're playing?
No Foden in there? What are your thoughts behind that?
I think it'd be a close one, but I think Saka was man of the match. I think he showed so much, attacking threat, the pace he's got, he's fearless. And to play like he did in the last game, it'd be harsh to drop him.
Jack's in there, and joking aside, we all wind you up about Jack because of your Villa allegiances, but what did you see in Jack when he started for England?
I just seen someone who wanted the ball anywhere on the pitch. He was going back and getting it off the centre halves, fearless, and just the reaction you're getting from social media, from when you watch the games. England fans want him on the pitch, not just Villa fans, England fans in general. And he got the assist with a great cross for Sterling's goal. There
was a really nice moment as well, because I went to the Scotland game, Ali, at Wembley, and you were there as well. And when Jack was on the touchline waiting to come on, there was a big crowd cheer. There was a big sort of swell in the atmosphere. And I think there's a reason that a lot of England fans want to see Jack playing.
Absolutely. I'm not an England fan myself, but I want to see Jack playing because I just think he entertains, and he's one of the players in that England squad that is capable of grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and winning it for you, whether it's beating a man, winning a free kick, scoring a goal. I think he's that type of player. And I take Gab's point totally. Looking at it myself, the more I think about it, I would maybe match up against Germany, and I'll give you my reason for it, Gab. My reason for it, I firmly believe that if both teams play well, then England win the game, because I think England actually have got more about them. And I just think if they do match up, whether he went with Rice and Phillips, I just think they might have kind of too much energy. And listen, they've got a lot of talent in the middle of the park, Germany, Tony Kroos and boys like that. But I just think they might have too much energy for the match. And I hear what you're saying. You should sometimes make the opposition, change their formation to your own formation. I get that. But I think in this occasion, I don't think he'll do it, Gareth. I don't think he'll do it. Yeah. But if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be ruling it out.
Yeah, and if you look at the formation he could play, he could play Walker or Reece James wing back, Luke Shaw wing back. Yeah. You still get your 3 attackers on the pitch as well. Like you said, 2 sitters. They'll have too much legs for Kroos and Gundogan if it's them two. So I wouldn't be against that because it still can be an attacking formation with 5 at the back.
I want to read you what Wayne Rooney wrote in his Times column yesterday. This is about his England 11. He says, Germany play 3 at the back with a high line, and what they try to do is almost suffocate you. The more players you have who want to take the ball to feet, the more they can press. So instead of Jack, I'd be looking to have runners either side of Harry Kane. My instruction would be to attack the spaces behind their wing-backs when they go forward and make runs down the channels to the sides of their centre-backs. Rashford is ideal for the job, and one of Raheem Sterling, Bukayo Saka or Jadon Sancho would complete my forward line. What are your thoughts?
I agree in the sense of, using the channels to get in behind the centre-half, especially Hummels. So I agree with getting Rashford on the pitch maybe, and definitely Saka, Sancho or Sterling. But I think even if you say maybe 3 defensive midfielders, maybe Henderson in there as well. But I just feel that, Jack can offer. He can still do that defensive part. He knows how to do it. He's done it for Villa. He can still be that player in there, winning the ball back, and then look at the attack we've got with him.
I take Wayne Rooney's point. The only thing I would say, Hummels is the one that's most central. So he's protected by, is it Ginter and Rudiger. So he's protected that size. Yeah, clearly in behind those wing-backs, Gosens and Kimmich is an area that England would exploit, particularly with pace, with Sterling. But the big one, if you could isolate Hummels in terms of pace, that's the one you want to isolate if you can. We saw it earlier on in the tournament when Mbappe went by him. And to be fair to Hummels, he did well getting back at the challenge. But if you could isolate, but they're clever, the Germans. Clearly, we know they're clever. But but the chances of getting Hummels isolated, particularly in a wide area, will be few and far between because he's protected by the other two.
Set pieces have been quite disappointing so far, and a few of the papers have picked up on this and the thought that Kieran Trippier could come in because of how good he is in terms of set pieces. So, do you see him coming in? And if he did, which side would he be on?
The only way I see him coming in is maybe if we play wing backs. If we play a 4, I just don't see it because yes, for set pieces, but for me, Kyle Walker is outstanding. I mean, I played against him, played with him, could never get past him, even though I was quick. Players will look at Kyle Walker and be scared to knock the ball past him. Gnabry plays on that side. He will not try and take Kyle Walker on. We've seen Kyle Walker mark Neymar out the game in the Champions League. So for me, Kyle Walker's got to play. Could
we see Trippier play on the left again?
If Mourinho was picking the team, yeah. But no, I don't see that at all. I think in this sort of game, you need Luke Shaw flying forward. I mean, Trippier, great player, but Luke Shaw, with that pace he's got, going forward, I think Luke Shaw will play.
What do you think the score's going to be, Gabs?
I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to go for 1-0 England. I think the England fans, it's going to be more, isn't it? Is it 40,000 they're going to be there? I think that will get England over the line.
What do you think, our resident jock?
Resident jock can see it in a draw.
Really?
Yeah, I can see it be 1 each and going all the way again. I really can.
And then what?
Well, you never know. Absolutely, you never know. But I think they're difficult to split the teams. But I'll stand by what I say. I think if both teams play really well, I think England win. But I just think it's, I don't think for a minute, certainly, Gab, there's absolutely no way that Gareth and England boys will be underestimating the Germans, right? Because you do that at your peril. Okay, they haven't been brilliant. Their best game was against Portugal. But listen, I'm watching that game against Hungary the other night, Gab, and you know they're going to score. There's inevitability about it. You know what I mean? They've been there. They've been over that course and distance, so many times. You just know that it's in their makeup, and if they don't do it, it maybe be a bad result for them, or clearly that. But they've got the experience and they know how to get these results. So it's a really, really tough one to call. And as I say, I don't like sitting on the fence, but I think it'll be a draw.
Mick says, play back 5 and play Saka at wing back, then it frees up space for Rashford. And I mean, a couple of people I saw that Saka was in as a wing back in a couple of people starting 11s. It does make you think because he does it for Arsenal sometimes.
Yeah, could happen. Yeah, but if you're him, coming off the right, how good was he in the last game? You'd want to play there again. But I don't think anyone would argue if he played wing back because he's done it for Arsenal and he offers that pace going forward as well.
That was where Jack Wilshere had him, actually, interestingly, but you'd understand with the Arsenal allegiance.